Broncos country, what is going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We got an exciting trade rumor to talk about. Of course, the LA Rams are now shopping Cooper Kupp. They're now shopping Cooper Kupp because they've only won one game. They might be tanking for Shador. They might, blow this whole thing up and start rebuilding. That's what they should do. That would be cool if they got Shador Sanders. But nonetheless, this is an opportunity, man, for the Broncos to act with some urgency. We're going to go over what it might take for us to get somebody like Cooper Kupp over here, how we can finagle the cap a little bit because he does have some big cap numbers. And if this would be a move that would be in the best interest. But yeah, if y'all let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. I'll get to your comments after going through all this. Be sure to like and subscribe to David Talks Broncos. Smash that like for the Broncos going and getting a weapon. So before we get into what the financials of this are, man, let's just talk about where the Broncos are at and what we've experienced since our Super Bowl win, since Peyton Manning retired. And that's just mediocrity. That's kind of being half in, half out on trying to win. That's kind of where we've been. We've been half in, half out. We've kind of done a poor job of, half-assing, selling at the deadline. We haven't fully wanted to commit to doing that. And thankfully, we've moved off from Russell Wilson. We moved off from Justin Simmons, which a little bit more controversial, but we're in a new era. We'll be moving off from Cortland Sutton after this year, no doubt about it. And we got a really good defense, like a top 5, top 3 defense. What I would hate to see is for us to say, you know what, let's just continue with what we got. We believe in these guys. No, man. This team right now is not making a run in the playoffs if we can get to the playoffs. You put Cooper Kupp on this team, again, if he's healthy, that changes things. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Cooper Kupp. I want the Broncos to have some urgency to go in there and get a weapon, go and get a guy that changes the dynamic of the offense. Because what is the big concern going into these games after Carolina? Into Baltimore, we got Kansas City twice, right? Man, the offense has to hold up their end of the bargain because the defense is going to bring it. Now, can we expect them to have an elite performance against the Chiefs, Ravens, and some of the tougher opponents that we got every single week? No, but they're going to give us a chance to win, no doubt about it. And our offense needs to live up to it. I don't want to waste this defense. I don't want to waste this elite defense. I'm sick of having good defenses, every single year for the most part since Manning retired, and us not do anything, man. Us not do anything. And for us to miss the playoffs or to go 7-9, right? It's just it's annoying, man. Granted, the Jets are a mess. The Jets are a mess. Okay. But you do got to appreciate, screw it, man. How likely is a 3rd round pick going to be better than Devontae Adams? Not very likely. Not very likely. How much is a 2nd or 3rd round pick for Cooper Kupp? How likely is that sort of pick going to be a better player than Cooper Kupp? It's less likely, than likely, right? I would love the Broncos to go get a real certified star wide receiver. We've talked about T. Higgins. That would be cool too. There's so many other guys that I would be okay bringing in here. Hell, are the Titans going to move on from Calvin Ridley? Maybe that's something that we can talk about too, because I imagine a lot of his signing bonus has already been paid. Go get a weapon for Bo. That will aid him in his development so much. If you want to make sure we're getting the most out of Bo, if Sean Payton's going to pin his legacy here with the Broncos in the second act of his career on Bo Nix, are we just going to do it with a bunch of guys that we got right now? Don't get me wrong. I love them. But guys like Troy Franklin, I think they're best suited on a contending team as being like your 3rd, 4th wide receiver, right? Like at best, Hopkins, no doubt about it. Go and get a weapon, Broncos. Oh, man, please. Like, let's show some belief in this team. This team's been busting their ass. They've been playing real good football. And what do we need? We need somebody on offense that can draw a double team, that can separate, that has insane IQ, that can get on the same page with Bo and read these defenses just like he's doing, right? Of course, Cooper Kupp, man, he's going to be phenomenal at doing that. Imagine what Sean Payton can do with Cooper Kupp in this offense. Then Cortland Sutton doesn't have to be the number one. Then Devon Valley, all these guys can go down on the depth chart to probably closer to where they belong, right? Please, Broncos, please make a move. It doesn't have to be Cooper Kupp, but man, and just please don't get Mike Williams. But man, if we take care of business against Carolina on Sunday, what do we have to do to reach 10 wins? And I think 10 wins could get you a wild card spot. You just got to go 5-4. That's all you got to do in the last 9 games. Go 5-4. You know who's going to give you better odds at doing that? Freaking Cooper Kupp, man. Cooper Kupp. And he's intelligent enough. He's a veteran wide receiver. He can come into this offense and be successful, no doubt about it. But I'm sick of I'm sick of us being kind of patient, man, with some of these guys. Like I was saying yesterday, we didn't go out and draft other wide receivers or sign other wide receivers because it's like, oh man, let's see what Jerry Jeudy can do. Maybe this is finally the year where he puts it together. Maybe this is finally the year that KJ Hamler breaks out, right? I kind of feel that way with Marvin Mims right now. Oh man, well, we want to still leave room for Marvin Mims to be a starter on this team. No, right now, man, Marvin Mims, gadget guy, and a fantastic returner. Let him stay in that role. I'm sick of waiting, man. We don't have much time to kill and time to waste when you got a rookie quarterback that needs development, that needs confidence. You need to help him out in every single way possible. We put a good offensive line around him. That's great. But, man, wouldn't it be so great if we just go and get Cooper Kupp, David Njoku, Travis Etienne, all these guys? But, that won't happen. That's completely unrealistic. But I'm rambling. Let's go ahead and get to the cap numbers on if we were to bring on Cooper Kupp, what this would do to the cap. So let's take a look at over the cap. By the way, Spot Track, like they got rid of their trade calculator, whatever. That pisses me off. So this is Cooper Kupp's contract here. If he were to be traded to the Broncos. So you would probably have to rework or sign him to an extension, which again, I feel like Cooper Kupp, his game is going to age better, maybe than a Mike Williams type of wide receiver. You sign him to an extension, you spread out this money. Maybe you add some void years, at the end, like what the Jets did for Devontae Adams. That's cool, whatnot. But looking in 2025, cap number would be $20 million. Cap number afterwards in 2026 would be just under $20 million. Man, you'll always take that. You'll always take that for freaking Cooper Kupp, an elite wide receiver. And not only is he elite wide receiver, he's like elite in the brain too. Like he's incredibly smart. And Sean Payton loves smart football players. To play in this system, you really have to be smart. I think Cooper Kupp, he would be a fantastic addition. And, you gotta clear more salary, right? Let's say you're not gonna bring him, or say you are gonna bring him on this year. I guess that cap number would still be 20 million. I don't know what happens if you do it in the beginning of the year. I guess so. So there's some things that we could do to get some money off the books. We could trade. What the heck? We could trade Baron Browning, but it's what the heck? It's a post June 1st trade, but nonetheless. Okay, so then you save $3 million doing that. Man, I have trouble reading this, man. So yeah, we would still be over by $12 million. We would definitely need to sign him, to an extension. No doubt about it. But I think, hey, I would love for us to keep our second round pick. Now, Baron Browning, I don't think he's going to get a contract extension here. This is a video for another day, but Nick Bonito is fantastic. Jonathan Cooper, fantastic. Those should be the guys that we extend. Then we have Jonah Ellis. Then we got Dondre Tillman. That's a pretty good 4. And then we could always bring in another edge day 3 or, in the draft, depth signing, something like that. But Baron Browning, I think he's the one guy that I think we should look to move because we do have kind of a luxury of riches right now at the edge position. This could be a player that's young enough to where the Rams could really use him as part of their edge rotation. Maybe there's a team like Detroit out there that's looking for another guy with their injury, with Aiden Hutchinson, breaking his leg in a nasty way. But man, that it would just be great. I think that it could be done. It takes some work, but we got a lot of smart guys here. We got a lot of smart guys here. The Walton Penner group, these are smart owners. George Payton's a cap guy. That's kind of where he is, or his background is from. And of course, Sean Payton, man, has always been known for trying to make the most out of the cap. And with the Walton Penners, man, we could probably fix this contract extension in a way to where it doesn't really hurt the Broncos cap too much moving forward into the future. And again, when you have a rookie quarterback on that rookie deal, you have to maximize it, just like the 49ers have done with Brock Purdy. That's probably going to catch up to them because Brock Purdy's due for a contract extension. But nonetheless, man, like we can afford a higher priced wide receiver right now. Of course, T. Higgins, I think I would prefer him just because of his age. But this is what I'm going to say, guys. Like, I'm sick of waiting around for just the hope or the possibility. Instead of waiting around for T. Higgins at maybe just having the possibility of being able to trade for him this offseason, how about we go, no, let's take what we can get right now. Let's go and get a security blanket, a bona fide number 1 elite wide receiver for Bo Nix. And let's see this thing roll, man. Let's see us get into the playoffs and do some damage. But right now, this offense, granted, they've had their moments, right? That trust me, man, when any of these playoff teams, if we do make the playoffs, if any of these other playoff teams in the AFC are looking at us, man, they're not worried about our offense at all. They're just not. Cooper Kupp strikes fear in the hearts and minds of defensive coordinators. Man, I would just love it. So, get to some of your thoughts. But man, let's do it. I would totally give up a 3rd round pick to do it, a 4th round pick in Baron Browning, a 3rd round pick in Baron Browning. Again, Baron Browning, he's going to be gone at the end of the year, in my opinion. So just use him at the very least as a sweetener. Oh, you can get a 3rd round pick or a 2nd round pick from this team. Well, maybe you'd rather have Baron Browning in a 3rd round pick. I mean, I still think I would give up a 2nd round pick for Cooper Kupp because again, the hit rate on those guys after the 1st round, it drops significantly. I do think we're a pretty decent drafting team right now, but you take what you can get. You take what's guaranteed, no doubt about it. Let me look up the draft picks right now for 2025. What the Broncos got. So we got our own 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round pick, 2 6th round picks, and that's it. Okay. Held in Green Bay this year. Yeah, I think this would be great. And then we could do what Sean Payton loves is, trade back a little bit. Well, I guess he doesn't. George Payton likes to do that. I'm not sure. But yeah, so we got our own 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round pick. Let's make this thing happen, guys. Like, let's go. Let's go. We're 4-3. We're in 2nd place in the AFC West. We should take care of business. Move to 5-3 this year. You want to hit 10 wins. I think 10 wins can get you into the wild card. Last 9 games of the season, all you got to do, man, is just go 5-4. That's all you got to do. Or 5-4. No. Yeah. Because then we're 5-3, so that's 8 games. And we play 17 games on the year. 5-4. That's all you got to do. 5-4. Just be slightly better than average. Browning in a 4. Yeah. And yeah, maybe we could, figure out too, like, I know that there's not as much salary retention and all that stuff kind of in these deals. I think for Vaughn, when we traded Von Miller, like we might have retained some salary in order to keep that, have a higher draft pick. So that's something to look, into as well. Maybe Baron Browning's a piece that they really value, and uh, it's seen as kind of a sweetener, and we're willing to take on, or like say they're willing to kind of keep some of that Cooper Cup money on their cap for the rest of the year, in exchange for a sweetener and Baron Browning, depending on like what pick we give them. But again, like once you draft the rookie quarterback, man, there is no time, from a talent acquisition perspective, in my opinion, to just be ultra patient. No, the window starts immediately once that quarterback is drafted. You got to give them the best chance to win with that rookie quarterback contract. So it's not that I'm wanting to go past or like excel the rebuild, so to speak, or just go back to doing what we were doing post Manning and making all these moves that I don't know. I guess we didn't even fully go all in because we were okay starting freaking Trevor Siemian instead of wanting to trade for Colin Kaepernick because of a few $1 million. You guys can say what you want or have your own opinions on if he was really that great of a quarterback at that point in his career, but I know damn well he's a better quarterback than freaking Trevor Siemian. I know that. I know that. No doubt about it. Go make a move, make a statement, give the Broncos country, this loyal fan base that has now been long suffering for almost 10 years now, man, that you actually believe in the group that you put together. Don't waste this defense. Don't waste this defense. If you love this defense and you want to say thank you, go and get somebody to help take the pressure off of them so that they can be playing free, not thinking out there, not worrying out there. Go and get a weapon. Oh, no, man. Chiefs ain't going to offer up somebody like Baron Browning, right? No, they ain't. And y'all, thank you so much. We got 120 people in here. Be sure to smash that like and subscribe. That's like currency here on YouTube. So please be sure to like, subscribe. Man, we're on our way to world domination. We're almost at 2,000 subs. Everybody's getting in here. Okay. SoCal Johnson, 84. The Broncos need a tight end. That's all. The Broncos desperately need a tight end. When you're looking at all the skill position groups, we're fine at wide receiver, like in terms of like, we're okay. We're okay at running back, we're god awful right now at the tight end position. Man, there ain't no juice. As much as I love Lucas Kroll, man, that group is just not sexy at all. They have, they just got no riz. They got no riz at that position. That's what the kids say. Go and get David Njoku. Go and get Evan Ingram. Go and get somebody that can change the dynamic of this offense. I mean, isn't a young quarterback's best friend and security blanket a stud tight end that they can always go to in the clutch? To me, it just makes too much sense. Sean Payton, your legacy is on the line, man. Your legacy is on the line. Give yourself as many weapons as possible to get this offense rolling. Give Bo Nix the best chance to become the best version of himself. And you don't do that by rolling out the weapons that we got right now to finish off the year, in my opinion. Now, I think we can still reach 5-4 or go 6-4 in our last 10 games and still sneak into the playoffs. But like I said, man, we ain't doing anything once we get there. Of course, we're always going to have a chance with the defense, but again, this offense does not strike fear in any of the other playoff caliber level opponents, man. Just doesn't. Just doesn't. And we can't let the Chiefs go and get Cooper Kupp, man. I don't know how they do it, but if the Chiefs can bring in all these guys and somehow they be okay with the salary cap, surely we can do it with the richest owners in football net worth of like $70 billion or something crazy like that. We can do it. We can figure out a way to get this thing done. Let's remain aggressive. Let's get I Just imagine, man, if we got a true star receiving weapon, how much easier everybody is going to eat. How much better this offense is going to look, man, because they have to start scheming for one of these weapons out here, defensive coordinators, that is. Right now, these defensive coordinators that face us, man, they don't have to scheme for anybody, man. We make their life easy. Let's go make a move. Remember, now I'm not saying this is a Super Bowl winning window right now, so don't get my words twisted here. Because when Peyton Manning came here, of course it was all gas, man. Pedal to the metal. We're going to do everything possible to make sure we got the best team available to win a Super Bowl, and we did it. Probably should have done it twice, but we did it. We got to 2 Super Bowls. Remember? Oh, man, we didn't get it done. We didn't get it done in 2014. Hey, how about we go get Aqib Talib? How about we go get TJ Ward? How about we go get Emmanuel Sanders if Eric Decker's got to walk, right? It was a beautiful thing. Oh, Von Miller. Von Miller, he's elite, but let's not be comfortable right there. Actually, let's bring another elite pass rusher there to take attention off of him so that the entire defense just goes crazy. Go and bring in DeMarcus Ware. Okay. It's a little bit tough to make those moves right now, again, with the 60 or with the 35 or 40 million. No, it's like 50. It's like $50 million in cap hit, dead cap with Russell Wilson this year, I think. But moving forward, again, I think he's at $30 million next year. We can still create, I think, close to $80 million in cap. Of course, Cortland Sutton's cap hit of around $17-18 million is going to be freed up next year when we cut him. So we can easily afford Cooper Kupp in the future. And so the biggest question is, how do you work around the cap hit, the contract details this year? But we no doubt can afford him. And then by the time we get to 2026, the Russell Wilson dead money's gone. The cap is going up. Bo Nix is still on a rookie contract. Garrett Bowles is either extended at a very good and manageable rate, or we probably have a stud left tackle that we've either developed or drafted and developed to play out there on a rookie contract or a very low percentage cap deal. To me, man, it just makes too much sense. But yeah, don't get a tight end. If you want the Broncos to go get somebody, smash that like. I need it, guys. I'm so freaking fired up. Hold on, man. I need to give us some good juju. Let's freaking go, dude. Let's go, Broncos. Go and get Cooper Kupp. Go and get a tight end. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of the half-ass approach that we've had over the years. Half rebuilding, half not, half going for it. Nah, screw that. The clock has been turned on when you drafted Bo Nix. Go and get a weapon. We can make the wild card. Cleveland sucks. The Cincinnati Bengals suck. The Indianapolis Colts are a total mess. Anthony Richardson, man, what the heck is going on? I drafted that dude in my fantasy draft. He sucks. I thought he was the next Cam Newton. No, man. This is the window to break the streak and make the playoffs. If the lowly, toxic, terrible culture Jets, man, are still making a move because might be a little delusional, but they believe in this team, rather Aaron Rodgers does. You want to keep him happy? They're making moves to try and become better. Why can't we? Why can't we make a move to improve this team? And I don't want to hear the BS about, well, you got to learn the system, yada, yada, yada. No, great players are able to come in here and play, and great coaches recognize that, and they make sure that they can find ways for them to be involved and to be productive. But again, it doesn't got to be Cooper Kupp. Just freaking somebody, so that Cortland Sutton, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, Devon Vele, none of these guys, got to play above where they should be slotted at. on a contending offense, on a contending team, man. Everybody falls in line to more so where they should be on a true NFL depth chart, man. Again, when you got to double team Cooper Kupp or you got to double team DeAndre Hopkins or somebody like that, you got to pay attention to David Njoku over the middle. It changes the whole thing. Right now, defenses, they don't got a scheme for anybody. This offense has no juice. Yeah, the Triple Crown winner, Cooper Kupp. And I don't care he's a little bit older. He can help the young guys too. His game, the type of game that he plays, man, that translates a lot better into your early 30s and mid 30s than the game like rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas had, or Mike Williams, Des Bryant, who man, Andre Johnson. They all kind of hit a wall at 30. Nah, that's not Cooper Kupp's game, man. It's not Cooper Kupp's game. He still has plenty of life in the NFL, in my opinion. In my opinion. So I don't want to say, well, hold out. Hopefully you can get this guy or T. Higgins, whatever. No, man. If somebody's available, we should go get him right now. Go and get him right now. I'm sick of playing the waiting game and then for not to happen, man. We got plenty of cap space. We got some nice assets. Baron Browning's the one guy that we should move off of because I don't see us re-signing him. We're going to have Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper as our starting edges, and then eventually Jonah Ellis probably will be, but that's a great rotation with Dondre Tillman also on the roster. Baron Browning's a fantastic sweetener because you can always use more edge players, especially if you're an NFC team, like Detroit. No, granted, they don't have a tight end or wide receiver that we can get. Maybe a three team trade, right? You work that out. But Detroit needs an edge rusher. You can build around an edge rusher at the age that Baron Browning's at 25. So we just can't let the freaking Chiefs get him, man. We can't let the Chiefs get him. No. Draft Tyler Warren from Penn State. Yeah, y'all smash that like if you want us to draft Tyler Warren, Penn State, tight end university. If he's the next or the second coming of Pat Freiermuth, I'm all about it, man. Did you see how good Pat Freiermuth was making Russell Wilson look on Sunday, man? Him and George Pickens. Imagine if we had a George Pickens on this offense, man. Man. Get something out of Browning before he's eventually cut. Yeah. It's just like the Jerry Jeudy stuff, man. Like last year, we could have had a 3rd round pick. And he's a bust. He's a bust. And we could have had a 3rd round pick for him last year. We turned that thing down. Oh, man. No. Get something out of Browning. He's a dead man walking in terms of not being on this team next year. Maybe you can flip Cortland Sutton for Cooper Kupp or another wide receiver somehow. I don't really know what advantage that would give the receiving team, but right now you keep Cortland Sutton as that wide receiver 2, whatever. You bring in Cooper Kupp, DeAndre Hopkins as their wide receiver 1. Everybody falls in place. Everybody eats. Everybody has more success. Just like when Von Miller had more success once DeMarcus Ware was here, taking attention off of him. That's going to help all the wide receivers. It's going to help Bo Nix. Douglas Wall, hey, appreciate the super chat recently. Thank you so much. Is adding a weapon when Bo Nix timing isn't quite there yet going to make that much of a difference? Well, I'm no professional, as you can see. I'm a fan. You don't see any professionals, put this on unless you're Shannon Sharp, I guess, right? But it should it should help. I would like to think that the better players you have around your quarterback, the highest probability, you're giving them the highest probability of reaching their potential, being more successful. So even if his timing isn't completely 1,000% locked on all the time, you got to think he's got to be complete more passes to Cooper Kupp. You got to think it helps. Like it ain't gonna hurt. It ain't gonna hurt. I think it only improves Bo Nix's odds of being a hit at 12 overall in the 2024 draft. I've long thought that he would be a top 3 quarterback in this class, and he's not going to get there, man. If we just continue to play it safe, man, let's go and do it. Let's go make a move. And when his timing hits, maybe in the second half of the season, right? Wouldn't it be great to have a star wide receiver right there for when that thing starts clicking a little bit more? Yeah, Cooper Kupp, one of the best route runners, man. That's why his game's gonna translate longer term, man. That's why I like it. Yeah, smash that life for Cooper Kupp, man. Bo Lever, 97 or 979, great name. Says not a fan of getting Cooper because I don't think we need a 3-month, 1-year rental player. I think he is amazing, but I think we would benefit a lot more with trading for Njoku and getting a neighbors type player in the draft. Hey, can't argue against that. I would be absolutely thrilled if we got somebody like Njoku. Now, what I will say is trading for Cooper Kupp as a 1-year rental makes no sense. Now, granted, you can, he does have a big out of his contract after this year. My thing is if you're going to spend the draft capital to bring him in here or pair it with Baron Browning, you extend him. Otherwise, it's not worth it, man. Like I agree with you. Building teams, do not trade for rentals. Just like we like the Rams, when they traded for Vaughn from us, they gave up that second round pick that ended up being the last pick in the second round, but they were able to get a Super Bowl out of it. It's totally worth it. Whatever. No, and they were fine just having him as a rental. No, if you're gonna trade assets for Cooper Kupp right now, you extend him out. You get that cap manageable or that cap number super manageable for the next 5 years, and you have him finish his career out here as a Denver Bronco, right? That's what you do. Sutton has yacht to end zone. Um, has yacht to end zone. I might be misunderstanding that, man. I'm sorry, but he's a great red zone threat for us. As is Cooper Kupp. Scores a lot of touchdowns, man. He's a great route runner. Let's get Bo Nix, one of the best route runners. Oh my God, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? Jose saying no, go after Pitts from Atlanta. If you're Atlanta right now, you got a good chance of making the play. I don't think you're looking to trade Pitts. And granted, he hasn't lived up to expectation either. I think he's better than what we got. Can he block though? That's why I'd prefer like Njoku. But I guess Ingram isn't that great of a blocker either, is he? Yeah. Mark, what's going on, man? Cup is an incredible leader and locker room guy. I just worry that the room is too crowded. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. If you got to get rid of, somebody like, I know this might piss people off. You got to get rid of somebody like Marvin Mims, to make room for Troy Franklin, or not Troy Franklin, to make room for Cooper Kupp. You do that. You can cut Josh Reynolds at a minimal dead cap number this offseason. Whatever. Devon Vele. These are great stories, man. But Devon Vele, Marvin Mims, maybe not necessarily on the punt return, but right now, from what we've seen as the wide receiver, completely replaceable. Like, no doubt about it. Cortland Sutton is a replaceable level player as I see it. So the room might be a little crowded this year, but again, man, I don't think right now the core that we have right now, plus Cooper Kupp, it's not a Super Bowl winning core, like no doubt about it. So if you're not good enough to make the team later on, hey, that just means we're leveling up, man. So I definitely keep Troy Franklin around. I'd like to see Devon Vele kept around, but outside of that, I'm not really loyal to any of these guys long term. And I do think that Vele and Franklin are best positioned to be those depth guys, maybe 3-4 on the depth chart, 3-4-5 on the depth chart. Yeah, Lil Jordan Humphrey, he can go. He can go back to the practice squad. I like Lil Jordan Humphrey, but I like him on a bad offense, man. There's a reason every time we cut him, nobody goes after him. And CeeDee Lamb would be amazing. The Cowboys, man, Cowboys are in a rough spot, dude. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb would be great. It's a damn shame we passed on him and Justin Jefferson for, Jerry Jeudy, some guy who likes dancing and going back and forth with haters on Twitter more than actually being a good wide receiver, man. I love respect my co's and Tim Contic on Twitter. Those are my guys. But the one area where we disagree on, man, is there love for Jerry Jeudy, man. That guy, dude, that guy was just so full of shit, dude. I, I couldn't stand Jerry Jeudy. Lost concentration just in the worst moments, dude. Uh, but anyways, yeah, go and get some guys who are proven. I'm sick of waiting to see if all these guys on rookie contracts can somehow turn into a number one receiver. They have way better odds of turning into a complimentary wide receiver for this offense. So you know what you go and do? You go and get that. You go and get that alpha. You go and get the guy who's going to keep defensive coordinators up late at night, man. It's David Njoku. It's Cooper Kupp. It's DeAndre Hopkins. But I guess DeAndre would be a little bit more of a rental. But yeah, Cooper Kupp, man, I would love to see him extended and you have him finish his career out here in Denver. No doubt about it. But you bring up a good point here, Jose. Yeah, we need separation. DeAndre Hopkins can do that. Cooper Kupp can do that. Yes. So, guys, thank you so much. I got to get working on my Bo Nix film room to come out tonight. We'll take a look at probably a little over 10 of his throws against the Saints. Really liked a lot of the play design that Sean Payton had. It was an up and down day for Bo. Like, no doubt about it. There were some plays downfield that I really think were there that he missed. But also like some really good decision making and still some really good throws from Bo kind of after he settled in. So let's make life a little bit easier on our starting rookie quarterback, man, and go and get a Cooper Kupp, go and get a star wide receiver, man. I would love it, man. Let's go do that. Bo Lever, it was sad to see they didn't flex us versus the Ravens to Sunday night, dude. How did the NFL think the Colts Vikings was better? Dude, Bo Lever, I'm right there with you, man. What the heck? The Colts are a disaster right now. They're a disaster right now. Now, the Vikings are a good story, but hey, you got the Ravens defense against the Broncos defense. That will be entertaining. You got Bo Nix and Sean Payton, Patrick Surtain going up against the Ravens, man. And by the way, man, I love the Ravens. Granted, I'll never forgive them for beating us, Joe Flacco, but I love how they play football, man. They play great defense. They have a great running game. They play smash mouth football. They play football the right way. And I think we can get there under Sean Payton. But one thing I appreciate the Ravens doing, hey, we got Lamar Jackson. Let's go support our quarterback who is just dynamic and elite in certain things on the field, but does have some drawbacks or some weaker areas. So let's go get him some more weapons, give him the opportunity to be as successful as he can be, reach that potential, man. They go and get a guy like, Zay Flowers. They brought him OBJ last year. They got Mark Andrews and they're like, yeah, we got our tight end, but let's not be satisfied with that. Let's go draft Isaiah Likely, guys, and I loved Isaiah Likely out of Coastal Carolina. I wanted the Broncos to draft him so bad in the 6th round, but I think that was the same year that we had Dulcich, and bummer. A trade for Kupp requires a solid contract and a 2 to 3 year commitment, but I love it. Good stuff as always, my man. Yeah, thank you so much, Mark. I can't wait to talk about the end of the Panthers game with you guys. If you don't follow Marky Sports, go and do it. Like, we got to get him to 500 subs, man. He's close. Y'all go do that. We connect on a weekly basis with our friend Jeremy, and that's always like a highlight of my week. So y'all be sure to do that. Go get Kupp, but he's injured way more often than he's healthy, right? That's a fair point. Yes, that's a fair point. I can't argue against that. That is the risk doing something like this. Now, if I look at the other options, maybe they haven't been hurt as often, but Evan Ingram's been hurt throughout his career. David Njoku has as well. Travis Etienne, like a lot of these guys that could, I think, be available, they're not the most durable either. But I think we've been one of the more healthier teams since Sean Payton's took over. I think we have a great nutrition staff, training and conditioning staff. We've really lowered the amount of injuries. Like, guys, we're not having those dumbass soft tissue injuries anymore that we had with Vance Joseph, with Vic Fangio, with Nate Hackett, big time with Nate Hackett, because that dude didn't have him practicing or hitting at all. But notice how, like, all of a sudden the mysterious hamstring injuries are pretty much gone. The calves, like the quads, like all that stuff is just gone. It's not by coincidence. It's because Sean Payton's gotten the organization, gotten the shit in order since he came here. We actually got a guy who has an idea of what it takes to be successful in the NFL, because he's been there. He's done it. He's not just some clown coming in here, hugging every player before practice and training camp, thinking that he's gonna, just loving each other as a family is gonna get you wins. Nah, man, leave that stuff for Pop Warner, community league, recreational league bullshit, man. This is a results oriented business, and I want the Broncos front office to behave like that in this window with Bo Nix, man. Why do the Chicago Bears not have a 4,000-yard passer in their entire history? They have always failed to put weapons around their quarterbacks. Now, I think that they've learned with what they've gone out and put around Caleb Williams from a weapons perspective. They got to work on the offensive line. But I think Caleb Williams has a very good shot of being their first 4,000-yard passer in their franchise history. Guys, not even Jay Cutler did that when he got traded over there. Jay Cutler arrested for like a DWI and a weapons charge? What? Let's start looking like these teams that are successful, man. They're in the playoffs every year because they don't take their foot off the gas. They're always looking to make moves. They're always looking to improve their roster. They're not loyal to these mediocre guys on the roster in terms of their performance. No, it's a results oriented business. You go get the guys who have results. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Smash that like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments how we get Cooper Kupp, or who else we need to go after. Damn, man. Let's not miss this opportunity to break the streak and see our Denver Broncos play a freaking playoff game. Go Broncos.